Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today, I'm going to break it down in front of you step by step. One piece of Togo leather will cost 450 USD. The thread is also the best top level. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. The one piece of bag, the hardware will cost 150 USD. The edge oil, for each bag, it will cost 50 USD. The interior lining, for each bag, the cost will be 100 USD. The litter for one bag is 10 USD. To finish one bag, the human resource cost will be 600 USD. A package, 10 USD. So now, to sum those up, the total cost will be 1,400 USD for one Birkin out of factory. But why Hermes will charge you 38,000 USD for one bag? That's because more than 90% of the price is paid for its logo. The only difference is, one, we don't have the logo, so we don't have to pay so much amount of money just for that logo. And second, this is why this bag from our factory only costs you 1,000 USD.
Luxury. It's the ultimate flex. The cars, the watches, the handbags that cost more than your rent. But what if I told you it's all a scam? Behind the glitz, behind the glam is a multi-billion-dollar illusion designed to manipulate your psychology, inflate your ego, and drain your bank account. This is how luxury brands trick you into feeling poor and how they turn exclusivity into one of the most profitable scams in modern capitalism. Brands like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Chanel manufacture their products in the same factories as brands 90% cheaper. Same hands, same machines, same leather. So where does that extra $39,000 go? Here's the part they don't want you to see. You see, thanks to Trump's tariffs, China started exposing how the game is played. Same bags, different labels.
One of these Chanel bags is worth £10,000 and one is worth 100. So this is the clasp on bag one. This is the engraving on bag one. This is the clasp on bag two. This is the engraving on bag two.
They say you're paying for heritage, but you're really paying for markup 20 times and sometimes more. Why? Because you're not buying a bag, you're buying an identity, a tribe, a silent glittering badge of I'm better than you. Luxury brands don't just market to your wallet. They hack your instincts. You see, evolution wired your brain for status. Back in the tribe, high status meant food, protection, survival. And now, it means flexing a Rolex while you're trapped in debt. They know this, they study this, they exploit this, and they call it exclusivity. But exclusivity isn't just psychological warfare in heels. Some bags you can't even buy, you have to be invited. Welcome to the luxury scarcity trap.
And now a word from Influencer Studio.
As AI-generated video continues to evolve at lightning speed, two models have emerged as the top contenders in the space: Kuaishou's Kling 2.1 Master and Google DeepMind's Veo 3. Both these models are available on Influencer Studio, the best place to test multiple models.
Artificial waitlists, limited releases, false shortages, all to manufacture desire. You think you're chasing the product, but the product is really chasing you. And here's the most cruel twist of all. Even if you can afford it, it was never meant for you. These brands want to sell to the ultra-rich, but they survive by making you think you're one of them. Middle-class debt fuels billionaire brands, and you wear the chains, proudly. It's 2025, and the US has ignited a trade war with China. Tariffs hit hard. And this time, luxury took the bullet. US brands scrambled, Chinese suppliers panicked, and for the first time, the public got a backstage pass. Factory workers turned to TikTok. They didn't just show how luxury bags were made, they showed where. And it wasn't in France or Italy. It was in China, in the same industrial blocks where knockoffs are born. The internet exploded. People began asking questions luxury brands never wanted to answer. So, what did TikTok do? They started making those videos disappear. No explanation, no warning, just gone. Accounts were shadow banned, hashtags buried. Factory workers claimed they were contacted by officials told to stop posting. Because this wasn't just bad PR, it was a geopolitical mess. See, luxury is a billion-dollar game, and when TikTok's algorithm started pulling back the curtain, they had to shut it. But it was too late. The secret was out. Luxury isn't handcrafted in Paris, it's mass-produced in China and sold to you as a dream. They say it's made in Italy, but here's the catch. It only has to be finished in Italy to earn that label. Bags are cut, stitched, and assembled in Asia. Then they're flown to Europe just to have a button added, a zipper adjusted, or a tag sewn in. That's it. That one step makes it legally Italian made. It's called the last substantial transformation loophole, a tiny legal detail that turns mass production into luxury heritage. You see, you're told a bag came from a century-old Italian workshop. What they don't tell you is that it was passed through 6 different factories in 4 countries. And most of the people who touched it can't even afford clean drinking water. Even in Italy, some luxury factories don't look luxury at all. They're filled with undocumented migrants working long hours for a fraction of minimum wage, just so the final label can say made in Italy. Because when luxury is globalized, the illusion is localized. The work is outsourced, the profit consolidated, and the truth buried behind a logo and a $20,000 price tag. Ever wonder why the bag you want is sold out everywhere? Why you can't just buy a Birkin? You have to earn the right to be considered?
Take you a year or two for you to be able to get your dream handbag in your hand. Even if you go to their websites right now and you try to scour them, it's been very, very difficult to get their handbags.
So I ended up applying, I believe, 8 times. 8 times, 8 chances, no leather disappointment.
It's not because demand is too high. It's because Hermes wants you to beg. They manufacture scarcity on purpose. Not because they can't make more bags, but because the illusion of rarity is worth more than the bag itself. In basic economics, low supply and high demand creates higher prices. But in luxury economics, low supply creates desperation. Desperation creates hype. And hype creates addiction.
Do you have a mini Kelly in stock?
Sorry, we're really busy today. You can have a seat in a minute.
Oh, okay. Hi, I've been waiting for a while.
What are you waiting for, sorry?
My mini Kelly.
Oh, we don't have any available in stock at the moment. You can come back tomorrow.
Excuse me, sir.
You shopped here before?
No, this is actually my first time.
What are you doing here?
My girlfriend wants a Birkin.
Oh my God. Yep. We don't stock those here.
You're not a customer anymore. You're a contestant. And the prize isn't even guaranteed. To even apply for a Birkin, you have to prove yourself. Buy belts, scarves, perfume, build purchase history, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get the call.
They never actually run out. The bags are in the back. They just don't offer them to everyone.
Guys, this isn't fashion, it's theater. And you're playing a part in a carefully scripted illusion. That $20,000 Birkin bag, it's not priced based on material. It's priced based on your psychological threshold. What's the most you're willing to spend to feel like you made it? They call it exclusivity, but it's really just elitism with a marketing budget. You're not buying the bag, you're buying access. Access to a club where the velvet rope is invisible and always out of reach. Because the real secret, The harder something is to get, the more we convince ourselves it must be worth it, even if it's all just a game. This tactic isn't new. It didn't start with handbags, and it definitely won't end there. In the 1920s, a group of light bulb manufacturers formed a secret cartel. They called it the Phoebus Cartel. Their mission? Make light bulbs die faster. They discovered they could engineer bulbs to last 2,500 hours, but instead capped them at 1,000. Why? Because longer lasting bulbs meant fewer purchases, less profit. So they programmed obsolescence into the product itself. Sound familiar? Today, we see it everywhere. Tech companies throttle your phone performance. Gaming consoles limit inventory to feel hype. Even luxury cars like Ferrari, they blacklist customers who flip their vehicles because scarcity is sacred. Control the supply and you can control the narrative. Control the narrative and you control desire. Streetwear brands like Supreme perfected the drop model. Tiny releases, artificial demand, and armies of resellers flipping $40 shirts for $400 overnight. Hermes took it a step further. They didn't just limit inventory. They made you prove your worthiness. This isn't about supply and demand, it's about status engineering. The more unreachable something becomes, the more you want it. Even if the product never changed. Even if it was never rare to begin with. But the real scam? Luxury brands don't just sell dreams. They sell dreams built on exploitation, sweatshops, child labor. Workers often earn just a few dollars a day, far below living wages, despite the final products selling for thousands of dollars. Conditions can be unsafe, cramped, and involve long hours. For example, textbook sweatshop environments. Some supply chains used for embellishments, embroidery, beading, or leather tanning have involved child labor, particularly in India and Bangladesh. Children may be involved in hazardous tasks like dyeing fabrics, handling chemicals, or working with sharp tools. Gucci, Prada, and Louis Vuitton have all faced scrutiny over labor conditions in their supply chains. LVMH, owner of brands like Louis Vuitton and Dior, has been accused of exploiting subcontractors in Italy who underpay immigrant laborers. And let's not even get started on blood diamonds. Also known as conflict diamonds, these are diamonds mined in war zones and sold to finance armed conflict against governments. The term became globally known in the 1990s during brutal civil wars in Africa, where diamonds funded horrific violence. Most big brands, such as Tiffany & Co., says they source diamonds directly from known mines and have strict traceability. The report suggests Tiffany's has bought polished diamonds from suppliers in Dubai, a known hub for laundered conflict diamonds from Africa. So, where does all the money go? Not to the workers, not to the materials. It goes to the illusion. Billboards, celebrity endorsements, red carpet placements, TikTokers flown to Paris. You're not buying a bag, you're buying advertising costs, dressed up as status. And if you're thinking, at least it's an investment, think again. The second you walk out of the boutique, your luxury item loses up to 70% of its value. Even Birkins, yes, even the so-called investment bags have flooded resale markets. Why? Because the only thing rarer than the bag is someone actually willing to pay full price again. The luxury industry isn't built on gold-threaded dreams. It's built on cheap labor, clever loopholes, and a multi-billion-dollar marketing machine. And yet, the price tag keeps climbing. Not because the bag is worth more, but because you believe you're worth more with it. Here's the trap no one talks about. You don't buy luxury because you need it. You buy it because you think you're not enough without it. Luxury brands don't sell products, they sell identity, confidence, power, worth.
You deserve it.
Be iconic. Join the legacy.
They speak to the part of your brain that's insecure, that grew up poor, that got bullied, that felt invisible. And these brands whisper, you're not like them. You're better. And here's proof. Capitalism learned how to sell you your own reflection, just more expensive. You don't buy the $7,000 suit because it's stitched better. You buy it because it says something about you before you speak. You don't buy the $3,000 heels because they're more comfortable. You buy them because they hurt. And pain is now part of the flex.
The Balenciaga shirt made in Portugal is made up of 100% cotton. The Uniqlo shirts, on the other hand, is made with also 100% cotton.
Luxury tells you that value is in the label, not the labor, not the utility, not even the art, just the illusion. An illusion of superiority, of having made it. But here is a cruel irony. The people buying luxury to prove they're rich usually aren't. Middle-class consumers carry luxury on their backs, literally and financially. Meanwhile, the ultra-rich, they don't need logos. They own the companies that sell them. Luxury used to be about craftsmanship. Now, it's a mirror. One that reflects who you wish you were, not who you really are. And in that mirror, brands see profit, and they'll keep selling it as long as you keep buying in. They told you luxury means success, that it means power, that it means you've made it. But here's what it really means. You were marketed to, you were manipulated, you were mined for your insecurity and sold back a fantasy with a 4-digit price tag. The luxury machine doesn't run on quality. It runs on cheap labor, fear of missing out, and psychological warfare. And the product? It was never the bag. It was never the shoes. It was never the brand. The product was you. It was your aspirations, your self-worth, your desire to be seen. So, next time you see someone flashing a bag like it means something, ask yourself, did they buy the dream or did the dream buy them?